Let's try this again. Okay, we were back. We got x is equal to 1. And then we have what? Okay, we plug in 1 into the first equation, so we get 7 plus 3y equals 8. Solving this, we get y equals a third. 1 minus 1/3 gives us 2/3. Hence, B is our answer. Okay, next. So over which of the following time periods is the average of growth of sunflower the least? So we're finding in this graph wherever there's the least slope, and looks like there's the least slope over here, which turns out to be our answer D. Wonderful. Okay. The function defined by that R and B are constants models the height T days. The growth is approximately linear. What does the A represent? Remember, A is the slope. Where when you're multiplying A times T, this is your slope. Let's see, the predicted sunflower, I think. Oh yeah, so this is H is the height. And then A is the slope. So it's basically a height divided by time. Let's see, the predicted number of centimeters that grows each day during the period. Predicted height in centimeters. Okay, not at the beginning. Slope models it throughout. Okay, it's not just at the start. Predicted height in centimeters at the, nope, just not the begin, not the end. It models it throughout. Predicted rise total. Okay, so this is the word total. This is the incorrect statement. Slope doesn't say total. It says on a per day basis. Okay, or on a per interval basis, per unit basis. So D is incorrect, giving us A. And yeah, this is right. Predicted number of centimeters the sunflower grows each day during the period. So each day, so this is a daily interval. Okay. Correct, 14. The growth rate of the sunflower from day 14 to day 35 is nearly constant. On the interval, which of the following mismodels the height H in centimeters of the flower T days after the, okay. Okay. I personally would have used a calculator. And I probably will use a calculator. Oh man, did my calculator disappear? No, it's here. Oh god, this is... I'm so used to using my calculator because it'd be so much faster. Okay, so usually what you want to do is always want to test like some random value. Let's test 77, okay? Let's test if our equations, like these, if our equations show that for 77 we get approximately 253, then it's correct, okay? So let's see, let's just plug in 77 into each one. 2.1 times 77 minus 15. 146, that seems way off from 253. 4.5 times 77 minus 27. 319, that's an overestimate. 6.8 my times 77. Oh my god, are we going just higher? Something seems wrong. Did I make a mistake, guys? 77 minus 12. We're just going higher. We're not even... What? 13.2 will definitely not make it. Let's try 4.5 again. Times 77 minus 27. From day 14 to day 35. No wonder I did not read that part. Okay, let's pick day 28. Day 28 should work. Okay, day 28. So for 28, I should get about 98. 21.1 times 28 minus 15. 43. No. 4.5 times 28 minus 27. There you go, 99. Pretty close to 98. There we go. So answer is B. I'll upload this lesson in the YouTube channel about probably today. I will try to do that. Try to do it by today. Which is the following relates y to x in the table above. Let's do the plugging in method again. We just need to plug in a random number. Let's pick 4. Usually, you never want to pick the first number. Reason why is the SAT will ensure that some of the answer choices will match the first number. So you want to pick a number in the middle. Some number in the middle. Okay, 4. Let's plug in 4 over here. We get 1/2 multiplied by, oh God, that seems a bit too big. 8, 625. Yep, that's not correct. So let's try this. 2 raised to 2. Actually, okay, guys, if you see here that 53 isn't a multiple of 5, so it cannot be A. It's neither a multiple of 2. When we're multiplying 2, 53 is not a multiple of, actually, wait, that's a stupid idea. I should not try that. Never try shortcuts, actually. They usually backfire. Okay, here we go. 2 times 3 raised to 4 is 81. Divided by, yeah, this is not gonna work out. It's gonna be like, I think, 64. Oh no, 256. It's gonna be 256. Yeah, it's not gonna work out. This is gonna be wrong. And let's try this one. So we put 4, that's gonna be 5. We're just gonna get 5. We plug in 4, we get 3/4 times 4, just 3 plus 2 is 5. So I'm gonna say D. And actually, this is the one time I'm not actually gonna do the work for D. Because looking at the number 53 over 4, it's a pretty complicated number. And I know I'm gonna waste a lot of time trying to check that. Because right now, if I'm dealing with fractions and I'm on a time crunch, I don't really want to start plugging in number and then try to see if it's right. I know that the other 3 are wrong. I don't need to really check for a D. You wanted to make sure you're right, but I don't want to do it in this case because I know fractions are time consuming. They take a lot of time. Okay, we had a checkpoint, guys. Any questions? And the last 5 questions. Just wait for everyone else. Is everyone else good? Okay, I don't think anyone else has questions. Let's just continue. Last 5 questions and we will finish for today. Okay, A triangles ABC, DEF, shown above. What is the equal to the following ratio? If you see this is, if you calculate it 90, 120, or 58, you're gonna get 32 over here. You're gonna get 58 over here. Okay, if you calculate it. Then we see that they are, what are they? Similar triangles, right? And not using law of cos, not using law of sines. I mean, like, just doing 180 minus 90, right? Using just angles, minus 32. This would give you 58, right? Because this is one angle is 90, other angle is 30. We can just subtract 180 from those. And that should give you 58, because triangles, angles add up to 180. Remember, in the SAT, you will not be required to know the law of sines or cosines. That's the ACT. Only in the ACT you'll be required. Actually, you're not really required to use the law. Know it. They'll give you it. You just need to know how to apply it. But in the SAT, they don't give you law of cosines or sines. They will. The max trig they'll give you is basic trig, like what's sine? Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, right? They're not gonna give too complicated. Anyway.
Wait.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like SAT Math 2 or 1?
No. For this is, I mean, just SAT math in general. For not math 2.
You're talking about subject test, right?
No. I meant for ACT, you're gonna be using the law of cosines or sines. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah, only if you're doing ACT. but they'll give you the formula. Okay, triangle of this. Which of the following is equal to the ratio of BC over AB? So we know BC is this side. AB is, where is AB? Oh, this side. Right, so we need to have the same sides on this triangle. And they're going to be equal ratios. So this side over here, we see it's 58 to 90. It corresponds to this side, DF. And we also see that this is this side over here, 58 to 32, corresponds to this side, DE. So our answer is going to be DF over DE, which is B. Okay. Oh, God. Steps. You gotta be kidding me. When designing a stairway, an architect uses that formula. H is the riser. For example, the 5 steps. The total rise is the sum of the riser heights. Okay, wonderful. Which of the following expresses riser height in terms of tread depth? So we know D is the tread depth and H is the riser height. So we're just basically solving for H. Okay. Oh God. We have 2H plus D equals 25. Right. Quickly isolating our variables, we get H equals to 1/2 times D, 25 minus D. So that gives us our answer is B, yes. Okay, next one. Some building codes require that for indoor stairways, the tread depth must be at least 9 inches and the riser height must at least be 5 inches. What? That makes no sense. Why would you want... So you're saying that you could have like a 50-inch riser height. Okay, anyway. It's like only people who stretch very, very much can actually climb up. Okay. Not gonna argue with that. At least 5 inches according to the riser tread formula. Which of the following inequalities best represents the set of all possible values of riser height that meets this code requirement? So we know the tread depth. So look here, we could look at this formula. Right. It says riser height must be at least 5 inches. So if the riser height is at least 5 inches, okay, give me a second. Let's see. I'm saying if the riser height. Oh yeah, here. Oh, I see. It can't go for infinity. That makes sense. Okay, so we know they said at least. So H has to be greater than or equal to 5. That's given. We know that for a fact. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's technically right. That's wrong. So we're left with B and C. And now we can plug it in the formula, right? We said that the tread depth must at least be 9 inches. Let's plug in 9 to that formula. Right? 25 minus 9 is 16. H will equal 8. Therefore, ranges from 5 to 8. Okay? It's going to be C. Okay, an architect wants to use the riser tread formula to design a stairway with a total rise of 9 feet, a riser height between 7 and 8 inches, and an odd number of steps. With the architect's constraint, which of must be the tread depth in inches of the stairway. Okay. H is the riser height, D is the tread depth. Okay. So he wants a stairway with a total rise of 9 feet, a riser height between 7 and 8. Okay. Tread depth. Okay. So this is a bit more complicated. Actually, not too complicated. So we know that 9. So, okay, you see, this is the total rise, okay? And we know that the total rise is the sum of all the riser heights. Okay. So, like, let's say, like, all the riser heights should equal 9. Now, we know that the riser heights is between 7 and 8 inches. And our total rise is 9 feet. So we had to first convert feet into inches. What is it? 108. We had to convert feet into inches, and then now we have to do 108 divided by some odd number should equal anywhere between 7 to 8 inches. Okay. I need to see what those numbers are. So let's see. We could do 108. Just quickly, you guys could do the math too. I'm just doing it in my head. I mean, not really in my head. 108 divided by... So 15.4 and 13.5. So we're going from 15.4. Actually, we're going from 13.5 to 15.4. And in this range, they are only one odd number, which is 15. 15 is the only odd number in this range. That's an integer. Because remember, we can't have like a half a step. That makes no sense. Because 14 is even and 15 is the only odd. Okay, so we found the amount of steps he's got. He's got 15 steps. What must be the tread depth? So what's his riser height? We know his riser height has to be, we could do 9 divided by 15, 108 divided by 15. All right, 108 divided by 15 to get 7.2, and that's gonna be the riser height. So what I did was I essentially did 9 feet, right? I found the amount of steps it takes. Then I knew what my total rise was, so I divided that with the amount of steps to find that it's 7.28. That's a bit of a messy work. So now we're on the last question. What is the sum of those solutions? That's an interesting, like, level step down. So we have x equals to 6, x equals to negative 0.7. Yeah, adding those together gives you the answer of C. Okay, anybody have any questions? We will stop right here for today. Nope. Okay, anyone else? You're welcome. No. Okay. Thank you all. I do not believe there is a class after this, though.